Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome to the very first episode of FIFA 18 Club and Country. Now, if you've been on the channel for a while, hopefully you guys are excited for the return of one of our favourite things to do every single FIFA year, and the fourth straight series of CNC. But if you're a new viewer to the channel, you're probably sitting there thinking, what's Club and Country? What is CNC? Well, as we set the save up, I would explain it to you in very basic details, and hopefully you'll get excited for what is just such a fun project and a really fun thing to do every single year. Now, Club and Country is basically an RTG career mode, okay? A Road to Glory career mode. But wait, there's more. It is an RTG, but there's a rule which makes this series a lot more fun than it normally would be, and really unique as well. In Club and Country, we're only allowed to sign players and use players that come from the same nation as the club. So in FIFA 15, we used Racing Santander. They were a Spanish side, and thus we were only allowed to sign and use players that came from Spain. In FIFA 16, we used Paris FC from France, so again, it was the same thing. We were only allowed to sign and use players that came from France. In FIFA 17, we used St Johnstone, I almost forgot, St Johnstone from Scotland, and thus we are only allowed to sign and use players that came from Scotland. So it's pretty obvious, I know, that the name sort of speaks for itself, but Club and Country means we're only allowed to sign and use players that come from the same nation as the club. But wait, there's even more. In this series as well, we're not just managing the club and trying to take them from a lower tier of professional football in their country and make them the best club in the world, as is the objective with pretty much every RTG. In this series as well, we're also managing the country and trying to make the nation the strongest nation in the world as well. So we're trying to make the club the best club in the world, the nation the best nation in the world, using players that come from the same nation for the club, and trying to put as many of those club players in the national team as well, hence the name Club and Country. It's a lot of fun, it's really, really unique, it's really awesome, and yeah, it's a great project, man, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Now, obviously, the Youth Academy in this series as well is used really, really heavily. The emphasis on getting great youth talents is far greater than in any other series we do, because starting with an RTG team, doing an RTG project, our options to sign players are limited due to a lack of funds. We don't have as much money as the bigger clubs in Europe because obviously it's an RTG. We're starting, maybe not right at the bottom, but for the most part at a quite lower level. So of course the Youth Academy is really important. And of course with such limitation in the players we can sign as well, only getting to sign players that come from the same nation as the club, we need good Youth Academy talent. So if you like a series with lots of young players, lots and lots of progression, and some good challenges too, this is definitely the series for you, because with a small budget like this one, we can't sign that many players. Buying good youth academy scouts, getting good youth talents is extremely important. So the fact there's no five-star scouts to begin with is quite frustrating. But yeah, this series is all about the youth players as well, man. And it's just really fun. I love the challenge. You guys have loved it for the past 3 years as well. And I think with Palermo here in Italy, our first Italian CNC, this is going to be so much fun. So now you know what the series is all about. Hopefully you're excited for it. It's such a fun project, man, seriously. And I encourage you guys to do it as well at home if you get bored of your regular CMs from time to time, just to spice things up a little bit, give you more of a challenge to do something more unique. We are going to be using Palermo, of course, in this series then, the Italian side, and you might be sitting there thinking, well, obviously there's a lot of Italian players that play for the club, but what about the players that aren't Italian? What do you do with this guy, for example, Morganella, the Swiss right midfielder? Well, in a 3-star team with not much depth to it as well, this might sound a little bit counterproductive, but due to the rules of the series, it's something we have to do. Those players get sold in the first transfer window, or sold in the second transfer window if we can't sell them in the first one, or if we can't sell them, we release them. So with a small budget and a really poor team to begin with poor depth, you might be sitting there thinking, well, the challenge is getting even greater. Yes, it is, and that's the best thing about it. So with players like this one, for example, Josip Pozovic, we have to put them on the transfer list straight away because they're not Italian and thus we can't use them. We're only allowed to sign and use players that play for the same country as the club. So Struna, for example, we can't use him because he's not Italian. It's basically, it's just such a difficult challenge, especially to begin with. The beginning of a CNC is really, really tough. Trying to get good young talents in with very little money and making your squad even slimmer. But again, it's really fun. And as I said there, for the players we can't sell, for the players we can't get rid of because they've just joined the club as well, we have to release them from their contracts or we can't use them at all and they just get put in our resis and never play. It's really fun, this project, but again, it is very tough to begin with. So I've just added all of our non-Italian players to the transfer list, but there are a few that we can't do because they've just signed for the club. So those ones who we can't sell in the first transfer window, as we mentioned a moment ago there, we will release. We released one of them, and we'll release this guy as well, Radoslaw Muralski, a Polish central/defensive midfielder. So we'll release him as well. Unfortunately, we can't release all of the non-Italian players right to begin with because, for example, this guy here, Eddie Ganaore, a French midfielder, you're only allowed to release 2 players, I think it's per month. Is it per month? So that's 2 gone, but we can't release some of these guys. But the rest are on the transfer list. And again, with a really, really poor team, with not much depth, with not much quality, and very little money to spend as well, it's going to be a very tough challenge. But let me set the team up here. I'll change formation because I don't like this one at all. Is this a 3-5-1-1? I don't like this at all. We'll set the formation up differently, something else I like, and we'll assess the squad in just a moment's time. All right, so we set the team up in a 4-3-3. And this is going to make you understand exactly why this series is so fun, yet so challenging to begin with as well. We don't currently have enough Italian players to make a full first 11. We've got 10 out there, and there's a Swiss right midfielder that, of course, we can't use. Unless we want to put the goalkeeper in the first 11, I can't make a full Italian first 11 to begin with. Now, there's players all over the place to begin with. I've not really got the team set up well. It's basically like when you start Ultimate Team and your first team is just a starter squad and it's just all over the place, really. It's very, very poor. And again, with only 11 Italian players in the full squad so far, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. But yeah, if that sums up anything, that shows you exactly how challenging this series is at the very beginning. So we need to sign some new players. Not much money in our budget at all, but let's get straight to it. We need some players. We need some young Italian talents. Let's get to it right away. Now, one thing I did notice, there's a few players out on loan, including this guy right here, Sitola. So we'll recall him from Cesena. 18-year-old left back, 63 rated. So he's coming back 15 grand. We need him back right away. Lofaso is another one, 19 years old, currently on loan at Fiorentina. He's also coming back straight away for 15 grand. And also this goalkeeper as well, currently at Sassuolo on loan, Leonardo Marson. We need these guys back right away. It's the cheapest way to get players into our team and obviously get the Italian talents in too. So 3 players arriving back from loan, and we'll put them back in the squad and in the first 11 as well. So that'll give us a little bit more depth to begin with. So where's Lofaso? There he is. We'll put him on the right-hand side of our wing to begin with. He can play left wing as well. Oh, is that a 5-star weak foot? Lovely jubbly. And who was the other one? I think it was a left back, wasn't it? Yeah, Sitola. Was this the guy? Yeah, it was Sitola, a young Italian left back. We'll put him in the team as well. And yeah, all right. So we're making slight progression, but progression nonetheless. That's more like it. All right. So I've just checked, and it turns out there's no Italian free agents. So that makes things even more difficult. That's normally my go-to save there for adding squad depth straight away. No Italian free agents, so things get even more difficult. But our first transfer here comes from Foggia, who want to sign Struna for 900 grand. So of course, going to say yes to that and hope he goes. We also had a bid here for Trzaskowski from Strasbourg. We just accepted it. It was a £1.5 million bid, so going to accept that as well. The problem we have is that whilst we're getting bids in straight away for our foreign-based players, we might not be able to sell them right to begin with because our squad is so thin. They might need to stay here to make up the minimum amount of numbers you need in your squad, but we'll have to wait and see. For the time being, 2 bids in 2 days, so I'll take that. And now our first pre-season game against Rosenborg, where we will be using all of our foreign players for this game. I'm not sure I mentioned at the start of the series. Basically, we can use the foreign players in the pre-season friendlies, but not in any competitive games. So as soon as the first competitive game comes, which I think is in the Coppa Nazionale, yes it is, against Spal, the foreign players are off limits. But for the pre-season friendlies, we can use them. So we will. We'll put them in a shop window and hopefully get some interested clubs, and we can sell them easier than naturally. So we're going to win the first game. It's a 1-1 draw. That's fine with me though. Using the foreign players, hopefully that'll get their form up and I'll make them more desirable to other clubs. As we see right on cue, a bid here for Pavel Davidovics from a club whose name I won't even be able to pronounce at all. 1.1 mil, so we'll accept this as well. And a player just got sold, and that was Struna as well. So making progression in the sales department, not in the signings just yet, but I'm sure sooner rather than later we'll pick someone up. But some bad news, Tchaikovsky's transfer talks are broken down, and due to the fact it's so much more difficult this year to get players to leave the club, this could be quite a difficult thing for us here. So transfer talks broke down there, and hopefully another bid will come in for him. But again, we can't use these players past the pre-season friendly, so if we can't sell them, we're going to release them. And my agent, Ollie Moore, says he wants to wish me the best and congratulate me on becoming manager of Palermo, and talks about the potential of international management. Now, for those of you wondering when we'll take the Italy job, normally it varies series by series, really, but I think I'll let you guys vote in this series to when we take the Italy job. We can either wait until it comes in naturally, which could take any length of time, or we can take it right away from the catalogue, or we can take it once we've won something. As I've made my manager Italian, it means we can go to the catalogue and redeem the international management bonus, if you will. But yeah, in the top right of the video today, guys, there'll be a YouTube poll for you, and you can vote on when we take the Italy job. We can do it straight away, so from the next episode onwards, or maybe episode 3, episode 4, or we can wait until we got promoted to Serie A, wait until we won our first trophy. Let me know in the YouTube poll. I'll put some options for you, and you can decide when we take over as Italy boss. And there's another sale. Davidovic is off for £1.1 million, so 2 sales already. Let's see if we can make some new signings now. Actually, we'll do it straight after the third game, actually. Our final group stage game. It's against St. Pauli, and if we get just a 1 point, we'll qualify for the knockout stages. So we'll see if we get through, and then we'll start making some signings if we can. And yeah, it's 1-1 draw, so we're through to the knockout stages. Excellent stuff. And it really is excellent stuff because we desperately needed the money in this RTG. So 700 grand to our budget now, that's good. And a bid for our Swiss right mid / right back, Morganella, which of course we'll accept. It may be under the valuation, but they've got to go, so we may as well get whatever cash we can for them. And now let's go ahead and try and sign some new players as well. Got a few players on the shortlist after doing some scouting. 4 players here: Moise Keane, Filippo Meligoni, Giulio Maggiore, and also Emmanuel Vignato as well. So let's go with Moise to begin with, and putting a bid here for the Hellas Verona striker. Just recently joined the club, won't move again. Well, that's kind of annoying. Okay, so we'll go with someone else then. Not Vignato, because can't do him. We'll go with Meligoni then. Let's see if we can make him our first signing. Like I said, man, difficult challenge, difficult project. Long term, but so much fun, this one. To begin with, it's tough, but that's what I really like about it, you know. So let's put in a transfer offer here and a straight valuation bid and see how much it'll cost. With not much money to work with, we need to get the best deals for our players as possible. So 675 grand, let's see what they say. Well, basically, an extra 5 grand plus 1% of the transfer fee if we sell him. Yeah, fine with me, so we'll take him. And so we're now offering the contract, 5-year deal, sporadic squad role, no release clause, and he wants 2.2k a week, which is less than he's on right now, so willing to take a pay cut, plus a 28.5 grand sign-on bonus, and I'm totally fine with that. So Filippo Meligoni is going to become our first signing with Palermo, a teenage midfielder into the side. There's going to be plenty more young talents to come, but he's the first of the lot. Welcome, son. So 63 rated, some very decent technicals to begin with. On just an 18-year-old, 3-star. Yeah, I'll certainly take that. Let's go make another one. So we can't sign Vignato or Moise Keane, but we might be able to sign him after the first month. We had this problem in my Huddersfield Career Mode. There were a couple of players we couldn't sign in the first month, but afterwards we could. But this guy we can straight away. Giulio Maggiore, £1 million valuation, very low wages, 19 years old, 65 rated. Let's put in a bid and try and get him to Palermo. So this guy's going to cost us 1.2 million, so 200 grand over his valuation. Totally fine with that. And due to the new transfer system in this year's game as well, we can bring the signings in a lot more quicker as well, which is fantastic. And I got to say, man, like I'm so excited for this project, and I hope you guys are as well, because it's just going to be so much fun. You know, doing another CNC, this time our first one in Italy as well. And if you are a new viewer to the channel as well, and you like your long projects, you like your long-term saves, you like your RTGs, you like your unique twists to them as well, you like your young talent, youth academy players as well, then definitely become a subscriber, because this channel is going to feature a lot of this sort of stuff. And in this series as well, the emphasis is so much on the young talents, on the teenage players as well. Definitely subscribe if you're a new viewer. So I'm a little bit annoyed we couldn't get him on a longer deal, 3 years to contract, but that's okay with me. We're going to bring him in, and already 2 quick-fire signings here for Palermo. So 2 young midfield talents in our first 11. Maggiore's coming in. Welcome to the club. Already making progression straight away. This is what I want to see. So we just made 2 signings in the midfield area, now going for a different position. The striker role, Patrick Cutroni, who is a 69 rated 19-year-old striker currently playing for Milan, 72 finishing on the guy already, valued at £2 million. His contract's up coming the end of the year, so we'll see what fee we'll have to pay for him. This might be our most expensive signing of the window, and that sort of sums it all up. We do have the money to do this though, so whilst we do have the cash, we may as well go in for a really decent signing, and Milan are okay with 2 mil. Excellent stuff. So Cutroni is going to come in and be our third signing for Palermo. He, like the other two, is okay taking a pay cut. I love that. These young players don't care about the money. They just want to go somewhere to a young, exciting team where they can play their best football on a regular basis. 20.5 grand a week. Bonus is a little bit steep, but I'm okay paying that. So Cutroni is going to come in as well. 69 rated striker, 19 years old. I got to say, man, it's going to be a tough first season for us, a tough start, but the young talent coming in is exciting me. That's the aim of the game, man. That's the main point of this series. Let's get these youngsters in. And so the board are now happy with our brand exposure goal because we just met that by signing Cutroni. Domestically, by the way, the board wants to win the league title and reach around 32 of the Coppa Nazionale, which, to be fair, was our aim anyway, so didn't really feel the need to show that. But that's now 3 new signings into the club. I think what we'll do is check if we can sign a 5-star youth scout now. Can we? No, not yet. But I'm sure one will appear soon, because I can't wait to get youth scouting started, man. That's one of the best parts about this series, if not the best part. So hopefully soon, a 5-star one's going to appear for us. Alright, so preseason semi-final, we've got Cassim Passa. If we win this, I'll play the preseason final, and we'll end straight after that. If we lose it, then, I don't know, I guess I'll make a signing or something, and then end after that. So Cassim Passa, and, oh, we won on penalties. It was 0-0, we won on a penalty shootout, so through to the preseason final. So what we'll do is we'll play that, and we will end the episode after that. Got some training to do there. We've got Troyes in the final, a French side. And we've got some money for that as well, which is excellent news. An extra £1.1 million. We'll take that. Is there a 5-star scout yet? Come on, what day is it? Is it Monday, 17th? We've had like 3 weeks. Surely there's going to be a 5-star at some point. Yes, right at the bottom, Thiago Abreu, waiting for that. Thiago Abreu, 5-star, 3.5 mil. That takes up more than half our remaining budget. But we were waiting for that. I wasn't going to sign a basic one because they don't have the best chance of success. But a 5-star, the best scout we can get. That means now, also what we can do now is send our youth scout out and then play the preseason final. Excellent stuff. Everything's coming up Millhouse just before the end of the episode. So we'll send out Thiago Abreu to Italy on the 9-month mission. And yeah, we started youth scouting. We signed some players. Now let's play the preseason final and end on that. And also, another sale as well. Michel Morganella off to Benevento for £710,000. So, let's play the preseason final and let's see if we can win our first ever trophy, non-competitively of course, with Palermo. And also, we are now just one Italian player away from having a full Italian first 11 and bench as well. So in the next episode, we'll complete the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle, make sure our entire first 11 and bench is Italian, because we'll need that going into our first competitive game. So yeah, we're making progression. Good way to end this episode. Let's end on a high and win the final as well. So here we go then. Troyes in the preseason final. Normally pre-game I discuss my lineup and explain my reasoning for the selection, but for this game I'll just come out and say honestly, I have no idea what's going on. It's just a 4-3-3 holding with just a random collection of players. But there are 3 players making our debuts for us today. We've got Maggiore and Melagioni in the middle of a trio, which is going to be quite exciting to watch, see how they move the ball around for us. And Cutroni, the former Milan striker who we signed, who's 69 rated, leading the line as well. So I want to see good debuts from those 3 players and a winning start for me in charge of Palermo. Let's go get that win. Let's go get that money. Come on, Palermo. This is a really poor first half an hour, to be honest. It's not really a surprise, though. Playing with low-rated teams and low-rated players against the AI, always quite difficult, but a chance here for Sitola, the young left-back who we recalled on loan, to storm down the left. That sort of sums up the first half so far. We kept holding the ball, though, with Peterman finding Maggiore, one of our new signings, going for goal over the bar. Still 0-0, but this is going to be a really tough test for us in the first season. Such a poor team, such a young and experienced team. How are we going to get on with no real leaders out there and no real quality as well? Build up here from the French side, a nice ball inside as well, and a chance here for them to go in front just before the break. I couldn't clear it, and the shot goes way off target. A sluggish first half, no less than we expected really. At some point we need to start playing some proper football, but at the moment I can't do anything. These players are so poor. My word, this is just excruciating. These players are so bad. Honestly, I think this is probably the worst team I've used in a CNC. throughout my channel's time. I genuinely believe that. Even Racing Santander back in Season 1 were better than this Palermo team. This is terrible. Oh, God. This is awful, man. This is absolutely terrible. Like, we knew we were on for a really long progressive save with this team, as Pamini makes a really important save, and it was going to take time to get good, but honestly, man, this is going to be the biggest challenge of the lot, I think. This is awful. This is such a bad team. They're so bad, I can't do anything with them. This team need the Benny Hill theme tune. They are that bad. I cannot wait to get some youth players in this team and get some decent talent, because right now there is nothing on show. Absolutely nothing. And Troy's going to win it here, and Pamini makes the save. This guy's sending us into extra time single-handedly. We've been terrible. Well, that's going to do it then. 0-0 after 90 minutes. An awful, awful display. C&C is all about progression and the challenge in the first season of a really poor team. That's definitely on show right here. This is terrible. Oh, and it's penalties. It's penalties. I didn't realise that. They go straight to penalties and no extra time. Okay then, so penalties it will be then. And Pamini, our goalkeeper, saved us in normal time to give us the chance of winning on the shootout. Can he provide the heroics here from 12 yards as well? Well, didn't need to for the first penalty. He went miles wide. Cutroni next. He is, of course, our new signing to the team, our big money striker, and he scores the penalty. Well done. Hyun Jun next for Troyes with a very long run-up. And it is saved by Pamini, the experienced goalkeeper. Might well be the best thing in this Palermo team at the moment. Melagioni, another new signing. He scores as well. 2-0. I don't think we deserve to win this trophy after a terrible 90 minutes. We'll take it on the penalty shootout if we can. Darby on next, and he has scored right in the top corner. What a penalty. And Monticello next for us, going to the top right if we can to make it 3-1. There we go. And that means now if Pamini saves this penalty and Troyes missed their third of 4, we have won the shootout. So Vizcarrondo against Pomini. Can he provide the heroics for us? Yes, he can. Saves it with his legs, and that will do it. Palermo have won the pre-season tournament. It's a weird celebration. It's a bad start in terms of gameplay, but hey, we'll take the win and the most amount of prize money. Goalkeeper the hero, we get the trophy. I mean, that penalty sort of summed it up. It just rolled across the ground, and he saved it with his knee, I think it was. So Palermo win then. We've won the pre-season tournament. Delighted with that, but again, this series is all about the challenge, or about young players, all about a really, really poor team to begin with, and the amount of progression it takes to make this side the best in the world. It's a long project, a long RTG, but in the first season we're transitioning the team. We're going to fill it full of young Italian talent, and I'm excited for the future of this team if the present is still pretty poor. So pre-season final is ours. We've won the trophy. Delighted with that, but we'll need to play a lot better if we are to win the league title. That was awful. I mean, yeah, sums up right there. 7 shots, 2 on target for our opponents. They couldn't score. We had 1 shot. It didn't even fall on target. I remember it as well. It was in the first half. Went way over the bar. I tell you, man, this is going to be such a tough challenge, such a unique project, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really, really relishing this challenge. And I have to say as well, for those of you that have been watching me for a while now, you've seen the previous 3&Cs, I'm going to come out and say this, man. This Palermo team, I think, is going to be the most difficult one of the lot. It's such a bad team, and it's going to take ages before we eventually reach the glory, which of course we're on the road to begin with. So that will end the first episode of Club and Country, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the episode, then please do consider leaving a like, as likes are of course very much appreciated, and it would help the channel out as well. If you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe as well. I will be uploading this series on a regular basis, as well as my Huddersfield Town Career Mode. Club and Country's began, 4th series is here, and my word, it's going to be a difficult one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon. Bye.